Hey, what's happening? It's your boy Leroy. There's a new tank in town called Orisa the Battle Beetle and has a lot to offer. With her diverse skill set, tankiness and also damage output, she can be a good addition to the roster. But first, let's look at her strengths, weaknesses and where she fits into the meta. Here we go. Alright, first off, her weapon, the Fusion Driver. It has 200 ammo and a pretty long time to force a reload. But in case of reloading, be cautious. Her reload time is quite long and Orisa can be hardly punished when she reloads badly positioned. The weapon deals a lot of damage on short range thanks to the low amount of spread this weapon has. Also mid-range this weapon seems to be viable to kill. Although the spread is low, it still isn't a good weapon for far-range shots. It also makes it hard to hit enemies in the far because of the projectiles which this weapon shoots. It takes a little while for the shots to get to its destination, unlike hitscan bullets. If you practice hard enough, you'll get very used to her projectile weapon, which will make you a big threat for the enemy. Her right-click ability is a mini graviton surge, or how the Overwatch baboons call it, halt. This ability is the strongest non-ultimate ability in my opinion. With only 8 seconds cooldown and a short slow after it, you can combine it perfectly with other abilities. Halt sucks in enemies who are in line of sight, in distance and not behind any type of shield into the epicenter. The skill is very versatile. For instance, you can pull enemies into the abyss and secure an environmental kill. Or you can pull out peeking enemies into line of sight and try to nuke them. Or you can manipulate the enemy's positioning and grant your team a possibility to engage. In short, you have infinite possibilities with the skill Halt. Her first skill, Fortify, transforms her into an invincible death machine. The skill has a 4-second duration and a 10 seconds cooldown after that. Fortify makes Orisa immune to all sorts of crowd control like stuns, sleeps, boops, etc. In addition to that, it decreases incoming damage by 50%. Now, the skill can be very well used in certain situations. Let's say defensively she can fortify against the Reinhardts and not be stunned and try to protect her teammates. Or offensively, when she receives a nano boost and fortifies herself to become literally unstoppable. Except for the darn Great Wall of May.
这样可以挡住他们。
Yeah, shut up. Her second skill is the Protective Barrier with 900 health and a cooldown of 12 seconds. The shield has kinda round edges which makes it good for holding choke points against incoming damage from more sides. The skill can be perfectly paired up with Reinhardt. Whilst Reinhardt is charging his shield, Orisa can just put down her own to give him the time he needs to recharge. Or also with the new Bastion meta, she can just throw it in front of him and make his wishes come true. I'd imagine many more things to be useful with that skill, but I know those two will come in handy. Her last skill is her ultimate Supercharger. Her ulti is kinda like a Mercy AoE boost with a massive radius. It increases damage for all allies by 50% for 15 seconds. The pod has 200 health though and can be destroyed if not well secured or placed. This ult is suitable on attack and defense. The long range and the possibility to fortify it with a protective barrier will make it hard for the enemy team to seek and destroy it. If it's even worth when it's only up for 15 seconds. This ult may possibly replace the nano boost by Ana, since every ally gains damage boost from it. But then again, Ana will have her ult faster than Orisa for sure, which means those two can synergize with each other. While Ana's ult is on cooldown, just go with the Orisa ult. There are a lot of things you can combo with this ult, like with Graviton Surge or with any given damage ult. But it can surely also be used on its own to try and wreak havoc with your team. This ult is really strong when used correctly, but don't get me wrong, it's still balanced, I think. But try to figure out when and where to put your ult so that it matters. Now that we know what she can do, let's figure out where her spot is in the meta. She has 400 health, which looks like too little for a tank, but notice that 200 of those 400 health are armor, which makes her a viable tank. Armor reduces incoming damage by 50%. In my mind, I see her as an off tank or an aggressive main tank. She can sustain with her Fortify ability and enough heals long enough to hold a point. Also, her shield might replace Reinhardt in some extent. But I believe rather that Orisa will be teamed up with Reinhardt just because Reinhardt's shield is more reliable in most cases. She's definitely a good off tank due to her massive damage burst. Also with her barrier and halt ability she will be able to one-on-one any enemy hero and prevail. But how will Orisa fit into the meta? Only time will tell. And that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I don't want to waste any more time talking about her, so just go on over on the PTR server and play her yourself. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the best Orisa player in the world. And with that said, we'll see us the next time. I'm out.